Hi everyone, my name is Vince Gallman. Thanks so much for visiting my channel. I feel it's important for me to speak about the recent massacre, the shooting in Texas in which 19 children were killed and 2 school teachers. And first of all, it goes without saying that my heart goes out to the families, to the people at the school, the administrators, the other teachers, and to all the students at that school, for the whole community, to experience such a loss, that the amount of healing work, the amount of grief work that needs to happen is astronomical. And so I really hope that those who are deeply heartbroken right now get the necessary support they need. So this is a really important topic for me, and I want to get to the heart of it right away. When something like this happens, immediately there's conversation of what are we going to do to stop this from happening, and rightfully so. There's talk about policy changes, getting rid of guns. The focus is on, on advocacy, any sort of external changes. Great. I fully support that. And if you know me well, you'll know that I believe that is simply not enough. And that is actually secondary to what really needs to happen. See, the wake up is, and people who've done enough work on themselves, enough healing work, who've gone deep enough into their shadows know this. The wake up is that the pain of the person who killed those children and those teachers, that person's pain is not separate from everyone else's unprocessed pain on this planet. That person's pain, the pain that drove him to shoot those people, is not separate from the unprocessed pain of everyone on the planet. His need to be at war with others is not separate from our unconscious habit, our unconscious need to be at war with the unloved aspects within. I'm going to say that again. His need to be at war with others, with life, within himself, is not separate from our need, our habit, our unconscious ways of being at war with the unloved aspects within ourselves. And I just want you to know right now, I'm feeling a lot in my body. I'm feeling a lot of charge. I'm feeling a lot of emotion in me. There is no transformation of this world without a transformation in human consciousness. That person's pain is not separate from our own. We are all interrelated. We are all interconnected. Nature has taught us that from the beginning. That eco-consciousness has taught us how one thing affects everything. And so that is the lesson here for all of us. We need to remember that we are one family. That we are one family. That person suffering in North Korea is our family. They're part of our family. That suppressed woman in Saudi Arabia, she's part of our family. She's our kindred spirit. and their suffering is not separate from our own suffering. You see, we still think that we can change the world for the better by waiting on our so-called leaders, our politicians, many of them good-hearted, well-intended. We think it's going to change by whatever policy changes they're going to make. But let me ask you, how good is that working? How well is that working? Have we not learned by now that we cannot rely on them? How many more shootings need to happen? How many more children need to die before we finally wake up and see and realize what Gandhi said, which is that we must be the change. We must be the change. You see, when we look to our so-called leaders, many of them who are controlled by the ruling elite who want war and division. When we rely on them, you know what we're doing? We're actually spiritually bypassing. You know what spiritually bypassing means? It's a convenient way for us to avoid the war within. The pain there in our cells, in our body, in our soul. It's spiritual bypassing. If we can keep going and just saying, when are we going to do something about this? When are they going to change this? When we turn on the 6 o'clock news and watch the latest updates and get frustrated, oh, here we go again. You know, we're just buying into the old story. The old story that is a game of waiting. It's a game of waiting. So how long are you going to wait? How long are you going to wait? I get it. I know how hard it is to go within. I know what it's like to do my work. I know how much courage it takes to face fear, face shame, face anger, face grief in the system, in the heart, in the soul. I know what it's like to cry and weep and shake and vomit. To do this for me, to do this for my ancestors, to do this for humanity, to do this for our children, our grandchildren, Mother Earth. I know what it's like. So I get why people don't want to do it. They just want this to go away so they can go back to drinking their beers and watching TV and watching sports and playing pool at the pub and going to hockey games and watching people beat each other up on the ice rink. They want to go back to their routine, playing video games, you know, night out with friends at the nightclub, at the pub, playing with our toys, our endless toys, in this materialistic consciousness of the Western world. That's what we want, right? Can we just take that away? Can we just take all the bad stuff away so we can all just be happy? No, you are here as a soul to evolve. That's why you're here. And do you know how you evolve? You evolve by going within. You go within and you transmute the pain in your system. That's how you evolve. Evolution is not an outside job, it's an inside job. You're here to purify yourself, and in purifying yourself, you purify the collective consciousness. That's what Gandhi meant. That's the work, everyone. But very few people want to do it. Even those who are awake. Even those who are awake to the dark agenda at play right now, which is very easy to see. The dark agenda that currently is causing food shortages, and making people incredibly sick, causing mass genocide. The people who are awake to that, even they want to go back to normal. They want all the coercion and the abuses of power to go away so they can go back to playing pool and watching TV. There's not many people who are actually dialed in to the truth, which is, you change it from the inside out. And that's why you're here. You're here to do the healing work. Everything else is a waiting game, everyone. Everything else is a waiting game. Until you turn inwards. Until you turn inwards and do the work for you, which is the work for your children and grandchildren, for all of humanity, for all sentient beings on this planet, for Mother Earth. That's what's going to end the violence, everyone. That's what's going to disempower the dark forces. Because when you heal, you birth the light. And nothing removes darkness other than light. And that light comes from you. That's what the world is waiting for. That's what the dark forces are calling forth. And truly, that's what this massacre is calling forth. It's calling forth you. It's calling forth your light. And what it's doing is it's mirroring your unprocessed pain. It's showing it to you. Here we go again, loud and clear. Are you ready now? Are you ready to do the work? It's time, everyone. We can't wait any longer. You may notice what's going on in the world. We cannot wait anymore. This is not about waiting anymore. This is about doing the work. And so that is those are my words for you, my impassioned words. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you so much.